Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video I want to teach you on how to create user, on how to register user by using Restful API. In this we will look on how to enable React to interact with Django. So let's see and stay with me until this full video complete in order to learn on how this matter work. So let's go and see this. Starting from, as you see here in my screen, I have Visual Studio Code. I have two folders, one for backend and other for frontend. I think you know what I mean by having these two folders. Backend we will be used to store my Django code, while frontend will be used to store my React codes. So let's start with the backend, okay? So first, let's cd to the backend. Let's create Django project. Python 3. Let's say Django admin start project. Let's call it tutorial, something like this. So here I have tutorial folder. Let me rename this to base deal. Let me rename this, and I need to call it base deal. So we have base directory and the tutorial directory. Okay, let me create app. Cd base deal, cd tutorial. Let me create app because in this case I want to make my user to use an email field as username and the password to create account, to register, and to login. So let me create another app known as register. Django admin, start the app, I think. So register, something like that. Okay, all things work fine. Let's first add some configuration here in base deal. In setting the py file, first I need to remove this. Let's say base deal, also the class the deal name, also the class the deal name, class dot abs class file, say file, something like this. Let's import OS here, import OS. Okay, everything is good. Say project deal here, I look at OS dot class dot deal name. Let's use OS dot class dot abs class. I know guys, this is out of this course, but for me I'll feel good if I will have a user which will sign up, will be registered and use his email field instead of username, instead of other field, I mean. So in this I want my user to use an email field so as to create account and to log in. So email field here will be used as username field. Okay, so let's go here to the URLs. Let's add some configuration also here in this path of database, I should say. Here I need this path, os dot path join fd db SQLite 3, something like this. Let's try to run our server. Python 3 -py run server. Normal deal name should fix somewhere. Okay, here we should say this. How about this? Let's run again. Okay, everything looks fine now, but also I need to edit this to provide a full path tutorial, something like this. Also, I should register this app in setting.py, so I'll go install the app here. I'll say tutorial register, something like this. Let's run again our server. Everything is fine. So in this register, I need to add some configuration so as to allow my user to log in or to use email field as username field. From Django config house models import abstract. My gosh, user save user manager permission. Makes sense. Yeah, and something like this. Class user manager. Yes, please base user manager. F underscore create user. So here I'm adding logics. So I have to allow email field to be considered as username field. So I say email equal to normalize email. Use email here. Use staff wags.pop is staff force is superuser wags.pop is superuser force is the user self.model email is equal to email is active equal to is staff is superuser is equal to is superuser. Let's passwords here, then use and set password user.save using self db and yes, create user, set the email, set password, put none, extra fields, instances, which underscore create user in plus email plus password plus extra field. Yes, create superuser email. Let's use password here. Let's pass extra fields. Let's return self dot underscore create user plus email, s plus password, s plus is staff, equal to 2 is super user, so let's have extra fields here, something like this. Let's complete this by having another class here of custom use. Abstract user, abstract base user, abstract base user, base user, permission mixing, email is equal to models, email field, email, email address, max length 256, unique so is staff model boolean field, staff status, default is false, is active, model dot boolean field active, default is true here, is super user, model dot boolean admin status, default is false, joined models dot return fields, let's join out now add let's say here, hey, let's use email as username field, okay? Let's say that shall self and self the email there, okay, get full name, self dot email, def get short name, self dot self dot email. At the end, let's say objects equal to user manager, something like this. Is everything fine? Let's look here. Let's say here we have permissions mixing. Normal with Django, should have Django here. Just we have 4 issues, 4 errors. Let's get user Django contributes model input abstract base user manager permission mixing, user manager base user manager, create user self email required, email staff summarize email staff pop staff user self model user sector shell user.save for issues. I don't know what is that, but let me add variable here in setting.py. say here let's make migration. Okay, let's migrate. Okay, everything is fine now. So for now I'm using email as username and the password field. So I'm having only two field for register and login. So let's move on, guys. Okay, let's run our not migration, our server. Everything is fine. Let's test it on browser. Okay, host this one. Oh, port 8. Sorry. It works. Everything is good. Everything is fine. Okay. So let me create this super user here. Okay, say Python may create super user. This one. Pascal. Let's say user@gmail.com. Okay. Password. So as we said, we will have only two fields: username as email and the password field. So here I'm registering a user, a super user. Okay. So password here. Say hey, Pascal 123. Pascal 123. Oh shit. Pascal 123. Everything looks fine. Let's run our server. Let's go to admin panel here. Let's try to log in here. If everything is fine, if it accepts an email as failed, let's just here. Hey, what's happened? Please interpolate. Here's something wrong here. Oh, it is user@gmail.com. Sorry guys, I forget. Then here I say this one. Let me test. Yeah, everything is good. So we are inside admin panel. So what next now? I am creating another app, and in this app I will have a bunch of an API. So my API will reside in this app. Let's get this app. Let's call this app as API. So I'll say start app. Let's say API. Okay. So we have an API app. Let's make everything look fine. Let's add a full path to API module. Let's say API app. Let's say here is tutorial. It's API. Okay. Also in setting the py, let's register this app. Say hey tutorial. It's API. So everything works fine now. Let's run our server. Oh my gosh. Let's run our server here. So for now, what I need is to add some functionality and some codes in my API app. Okay, so I'll go here. I'll create URLs.py. I also create serializer.py. Also here in the register I need these two files. Not two files, only one. I think I need serializer.py. Okay, so everything looks fine now. So what is serializer? Serializer is a method in which is used to transfer data between two endpoints. it is so important to know what is serializer and how it works, because in this serializer we use JSON format of data to transfer. So what is JSON format of data? JSON format of data is the one which looks the same, just like a Python dictionary. It go with this syntax. Okay, I can say, hey, this is Python dictionary. I can say hello. So something like this. This is JSON data. So in serializers, we use this format of data to transfer data or information between two endpoints. Okay, and in our case is the active side and the Django side. So we have two endpoints here. We have two endpoints, one for React and one for Python or Django. So in my serializer here, let's start by first we need to install some modules so as to write our serializer and our codes in a good format, which is look just still like a JSON format. So when we need to install some modules here, first here we need to install Django Restful API. Django Restful API install Python 3. Let's see this. This one. Let's copy. Let's install here by using pip install. Let's paste it. Oh, okay. I need pip. Yeah, something like this. So after that, we need to save this module of Restful API in our setting.py here in the installed app. We need to say Restful framework. Okay, something like this. Save. Okay. Also, because here we have two systems, we have two endpoints. For security reason, there is something called cause. What it means here? It means cause, origin, resource, cause, origin. What is called? Sorry guys. Cause in wrong format. Cause, origin, resource sharing. So what is this? This is security features which will disable or will avoid two endpoints to interact or to fetch some information from each other. Okay, so we should fix this by installing another module. So to allow our React side and our Django side to interact each other, we need another module. So let's say pip install. Say this one. So install this, copy, let me paste here, let me install this. So this code module will enable our two system or our two endpoint to interact in each other. This is enabled for security reasons. So let's add this here. Say also, let's say cause either something like this. Okay, save it. After that, we should create another variable which will be used to allow only our React side to interact with our Django side. Okay, so we should specify something called allowed origins. Okay, so here I will say cause allowed origins. Here I will pass an IP address or a URL of a machine where my React codes will be run, and by default React run at port 3000. So we'll say HTTP localhost this port. Okay, so all this only this machine or endpoint will be allowed to interact with our Django database or our Django server. Okay, so this is for security purpose. Okay, after that I think now we should go and create our serializer in setting.py. Okay, let's create our serializer here. Okay, let's first go and say from this framework we should import serialize. Okay, after that also I need a user model because this will be used to create a user, guys. Okay, so I say from Django.config.else import get user model. Okay, after that I need to create class here, class registration. So serializer model serializer class meta model. So here we want to create or to register a new user, so we will use user model. Okay, so email here and password. Okay, let's save this. Okay, so this is our serializer, guys. So after that we need to have a view which will define some logics which will interact with this registration serializer. Okay, so here in views I should have something here. First I should say let's first import a user model. Import get user model. Okay, after that I need that serializer from tutorial register serializers files import registration serializer, something like this. Okay, so now I'm going to create a new user. I'm going to register a user here. So for this case I need to have a given class. Let's say create user API view. Also let's import the API view above. Let's say from list framework imports API view framework.view import API view. Okay, so I will inherit here API view. API view. What is API view? API view is views which is from Restful API. Restful. So what is this? API view is used to provide us a function which will handle a get method and a post method. When a user maybe need to give us data, let's say we need to register user, so he should first give us a given data. So we should define here post method. So this post is received for receiving a data from an something like this. Okay, so this post will receive that. Okay, and which data we need here? We need the two field which is required to register user. Which field? First we need the email field. Let's say we need the email is username and the password field. So this post will be used to receive this data from our React, and it will create user from this data. So let's continue here. Okay, let's say this post. Let's say self. Let's use the question. Let's use ads. Let's use keyword argument. Let's say hey. Let's save this data. So we will get a variable of password which will be used to store a password data or a password field received from an endpoint. So when a user posts some data, he made to post a password field. So this is all of our React code to send password field here to be stored so as to create user. So suppose I have email field, say request that I can say email, something like this. Then after that we need to create user. So since password is stored in a encrypted format, okay, so we need to import some module here which will be used to encrypt a password field posted by the user. So we need make hash or make password module. So we'll say from Django .contrib.aus.hashers import make password. So this would be used to convert or to encrypt the password field before being stored in our database. So should say this, and after that we need to say let's print this password, the email. Then after that, let's say we need to convert your password field in hash or encryption format. So let's call make password function. Let's print password hash. Okay, let's save this and let's see if it works. What, there is error here. Password, yeah, I need to add this. Okay, let's run our server. Okay, everything is fine. Let's save this. Also, let's create in our register app urls.py. okay, something like this. But I think I don't need this because I have an API app, which all API URL will be defined here. So I think I will store my URLs in this file. Okay, let's first define this file. So in API app, let's say from django.conf.urls import URL. Let's say URL pattern. Let's say something like this. Let's save this. Everything is good. I think so. Then let's import or include this API app URL in main URLs file. So let's go in our main URL file and include this. We'll say from django.conf.urls import include. Then we will tell this that, hey, you should include URLs from our API app. Okay, so this will start with API name. Okay, API keyword. Then we'll include API URLs. So let's import here API URLs file from tutorial.api and import your URLs. URL is API URLs. Let's save this. We have an error here. It say URL is not defined. So let's import this together with include. So we'll say this. Let's save this. Everything is fine now. So after that, let's close this. Let's go to our API URL, and then in this file I will say I need to first import from register views this view. So to make things much more simple, let's define a variable here. Let's say create user is equal to create user. Sorry, shit. User API view as view. So let's import this in our create user API view, something like this as view. So let's import this in our API URL file. I will say from tutorial dot register dot views. I need to import get user, something like this. Let's save. Everything work fine. Then here I will define a URL. I will say create, something like this. Then here I will say product So then, oh no, I will say create user, then name, let's say register, something like this. Let's try to run this URL of create. So we start with API create, because here in our main URLs we define that all URLs in API app will start with this API keyword. So it needs to be written API, then it create, API create. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's run localhost. Let's use API create. Yeah, we have something like this. This is interface which is offered by Restful API. Not Restful API, Restful module which we downloaded. This one, Restful framework module. So this is a template which is offered for us to test a different functionality. Okay, so I can test it here if this API endpoint work fine or not. Okay, so let's first see our admin panel. Hey, also we should register our app in admin panel. I will create user app in our admin panel. So also I will go here in register admin. I need to register this model, this custom, this one, custom user model, which is used to create a user. So I should register this in admin.py so as to appear here and helps us to preview whenever we register a new user if it works fine or not. Okay, so I will go here and I will register this by saying first let's import that model. Okay, from models import custom use. Okay, then let's register. Okay, we first I think we should add some functionality for the way this model will be displayed in our admin interface. So I needed to add some customization here. So for that purpose I needed to create a new class so as to define some logic on how this model will be displayed in admin panel. So custom user admin, let's create new class custom user admin here. Say admin dot model admin. So we should import us. I think model admin is delivered from admin, so everything good here, no need to import. So first I will say this display to display this top field, only this top field from this table. So this will display only an email field and the join the date field. Okay, so let's display also. I will say that here so I will sort data by using join the field by using a date a user joined or created. So if I mean the most recent create the user will be aligned at the top. Okay, so joined. Let's say also we have this filter. This will be used to help us in searching. Something like this. Let's say search fields. Let's use email. Okay, let's define a field set. Let's say we have now fields. Let's display email field and the password. Let's complete this. Let's add another field, user status. User status. Is staff is super user is active. Okay, now at the end, let's register this model. Say admin.site.register. Let's register custom. Oh my god, sorry. Let's say custom user. We need to override the custom user with our class above, which is custom user admin. Let's save this. Let's run our server. What's happening, guys? Oh, let's move here. Yeah, everything is okay. So we should have custom user model in our admin interface. Okay, so for now we have only a super user, okay, which is user@gmail.com. so whenever we register a new user, it should be displayed here. Okay, so let's back to this and let's create a new user. So in content, we need to send two fields of username, which is email, and a field of password. Okay, so we should say this. Yeah, and if you wonder what is this and where it's coming from, you should look here in our views of register. We said here we need two fields of password and an email. This will be used as this will be executed in this view. So this view, if it work, it will print a received password field and received email field, and then it will hash password field and it will print here. So for now we should see this in our terminal. So let's test this. And remember, we said that whenever we send data, it should be sent as or in the format of JSON. JSON is a format which look the same, just like JavaScript dictionary. So I will have this, and I will say, hey, for email, you should have user2@gmail.com. Also for password field, you should have, let's say, pass 1 2 3. Let's let's post this and let's preview it here. Post. Oh, we have an error. Okay, so we have an error. What is that error? I think this API view should return data in form of JSON, so we should return something here. Let's say, and to return data in form of JSON, we should use a response module. So we should import it here. We should import it here. We should say here above. So this is error, guys. We have bad request. Okay, so we should say some list framework dot response import response. So let's save this. Let's say here, hey, return response. Let's have password with password hash. Let's have email field. So we should have these fields. Let's save this first. Let's test again. Okay, let's preview here. Let's say, hey, password field, we should use user 123. For email field, you should use user, let's say, profile@gmail.com. Let's post this. Let's post the same airline. Say, expecting proper name enclosed in double quotes. So I think we should use double quotation. So again, password user 123 email pass@gmail.com. Let's test this. How about this? Yeah, it worked. Okay, so this, we said it should print this in our console to see if everything is okay. So this, in this case, we didn't add logic to save or to create user, because first we want to preview if our API view here is working fine and is good. And as you see here, it printed our user password here and our user email here. Also, it should return something like this. So everything is good for now. Let's add logics to save this user or to register or to create this user. So let's say this. Let's remove this. So also, I forget to explain this to you. Hey, did you see this? This is response. This one. So whenever we send this data here in our interface, we've got this response which containing a hashed password field and an email posted by the user, and this we did it in this line. Okay, so everything worked good. Now let's now add actual logics to create this user. Okay, so After make password here, I should have something cooler. Let's see if everything is fine. Okay, everything is fine. Everything looks fine. So we have password hash, make password. Okay, so we should say user is equal to get user model objects dot create email is equal to email field. We have that. Also password is equal to password hash. Hey, in this you should pass password hash because Django database store password in form of hash, not a normal password, so it should be encrypted. Okay, so don't forget that. Don't put here normal password. You should put this encrypted one. Okay, so after that we have user. Okay, let's now call user.save. So this will save our user. After that, I think let's use this serializer now to send response to our RESTful API here of a user which have been created. So let's use this serializer here. So I will say serializer. Let's have new variable here. Serializer is equal to registration serializer, then pass get the user here. So this user will be passed here, and all information found in this saved user will be mapped into fields we have here, which is email and password. So this will automatically pass all those fields in our serializer here. So let's at the end return serializer.data. Okay, save this. So let's test if everything will work. So I should say, hey, password field, I need to use user 1 2 3 4, something like this. And for email field, I need to use email at gmail.com, something like this. Let's call this. Then let's see here. For now we have all this our one user. So when I send this post here, this user also should be added here. Okay, so let's test. Let's save and test. So post. Oh, we have an error. Which error, guys? Oh yeah, I think this should look fine. So I think now everything is good. Let's try again. Password. So password for user 1 2 3. Email. Yeah, email. For email gmail.com. Let's see. Let's post now. Everything will be okay. What is that? We have an error here. Let's see here. No user. Let me try fixing this. JSON path expecting this. I think I forgot to put comma. Password user 1234 comma. Let's say email. Use email gmail.com. Let's close this. Let's say email, something like this. I hope everything will look fine. Yeah, everything is fine, and we have got a response of create the user or registered user. So this is what we wanted. So when we refresh here in our admin panel, we should see another user. Yeah, so everything is good and it is tested. So for now we should go in our React and try to implement this, because here we see our backend works fine. So let's go in our React, in our frontend. Let's remove this. Okay, in our React here, in our pages, I think I should create register interface. Okay, after that I will say import React, let's say component from React. Then I will say class register extends component, something like this. Then I should return lambda, return let's use div here. Let's have form, let's have inputs, class. Let's first have label, class name. Let's use class name of let's first export this, export default register, something like this. Let's now create our CSS file. Let's call register.module.css, something like this. Let's import this CSS file styles from static CSS register module.css. Then let's link here our styling. Let's first have label of class name, style.lab, let's say lab, something like this. After that, I should say username. Let's have input type of type, let's say text. Email, okay, type email. Then class name styles.input, so this. Let's back here. Let's go to, let's break off here. Let's have another label of class name style.lab. Let's say now we have password field. let's use web, something like this. Let's back. Also let's have input type, email, class name, this styles dot input, something like this. After that, let's have button of type submit. Submit. Let's use class name of style.btn. Okay, after that I should say register. Okay, then here I should break. Let's see it here by let's first run our React server. Okay, so I'll say frontend, frontend, let's say in Finland dev, okay. So now we will go to localhost, register. Okay, yeah, we have something like this. Let's add some styling so as to look fine and to look good. Okay, so for now I will say let's first add another div here. Class name style.outer div. Let's call this, let's say this, let's format this, then let's go to our styling. Let me split this. So now I will say, hey, for outer div I need to display flex. First to have width of 100, height of 100 view height, and the align items center, justify content center, something like this. Yeah, I think it looks fine. It is pressed at the center of our page. So let's also style lab. Let's say for lab, font weight bold, then and color of gray, and the font size of 100, something like this. It's okay. I will say padding, oh my god, let's use 4. It's okay. Height, oh, it not look fine. This is not what I want. Let's use margin. How about this? Oh shit. Lab, but I want margin top. Let's use this so as to leave some space. Still blah blah blah. I don't know what happened here, but it is not, I think it will work fine. It will work fine. Then in input I need border of 2 pixels, solid gray. I need width of this, let's say 100 pixels. Okay, 80, let's say 30 pixels. How about this? Let's use 200 here. this. Okay, then for this button I need border of none. Then I should say how about margin top? Margin top of so. Yeah, it looks fine. Let's use padding. What's happen here? Padding of 2%. How about this? Let's at the end add the color of black. I think background is black. Let's make something look like gray, black, black. Yeah. Also, I need the color of white. Font size, font weight. I need bold. Yeah, it look fine. It look awesome. It look okay. So we should now test if this React code or React endpoint will interact with our backend endpoint. Okay, so for now I should go here and say I should have state here. Say hey state. I should say username. Username. Oh my god. Username this. Then I have password. Okay. This. For that, I should also create ref here. I say constructor props super props something like this. Then I should say I should have an error container here. Should say span. Let's use class name of styles error. Okay, let's use also ref here. Ref is equal to this dot l. Then here we should say hey message this dot state message. Okay, so here I should have message state, and here I should have this dot sync r equal to react. Let's create ref. Okay, save this. After that I should make this error container of display man, but first let me style this. Okay, let me try to style this error. I should say let's first say failed public request, something like this. Let's go here then and say display block. Okay, then I say font weight bold, choose color of red, let's say this red. something which look like this, fed bad request. Okay, so that everything works fine now. I should say you should have margin of 2%. Yeah, everything look fine now. Let's now move this to display none. Okay, so for now I should have also, let's create there for inputs, this inputs. Okay, let's use left this dot user, let's say name. Okay, and for this, let's say left is equal to this dot path. Okay, then let's use this here. Let's say this dot user react dot create left, this dot path react create left. Okay, let's save this. So let's hide this. Let's first style. Now I'm going to add this functionality. Okay, so I will say here, I will say pattern and submit. Here I will say on click, hey, you should execute on register function. So let me define it here. I will say on register let's use allo function here. Let's pass this. First I will say prevent default. Also I will go here and add some functionality to save the user input for email in a username field. Okay, or a username state. So I will say here on change, let's use this our function. Let's say let's pass a event our function. Then I say this will set state state username to be e.event e.target valve. The same goes here for this input. Should go here and they should be this e set state password the target valve. Okay, let's save this. Let's collapse this. Let's collapse. This. Yeah. Everything looks fine now. So let's go here and say, hey, if this dot state dot username dot claim, let me add the validation here dot claim dot length is equal to 0, or this dot state dot password claim dot length equal to 0. Then we should print an error to user that, hey, we need this two field to have a given data. It should not be empty. So we will say this to set state. Let's say which state we need to set here is message. Say, hey, we don't accept we don't accept empty fields. Okay, then I'll say this dot error L. It is, where is error container? Dot current dot display is equal to none. Let's use none. Or dot style, we should make it look block, not none. Okay, then I will set timeout to make this error disappear. So I will say, let's save this error interval. Let's say set timeout. Let's say error timeout. Let's say set timeout. Let's pass this. Let's say this. Let's say this dot error dot current dot display dot style is equal to none. So this will disappear after 30 seconds. Okay, so that's done nothing. Let's test. On register is not defined. On register. Okay, I should pass here this. Okay, let's this dot error dot current dot display is undefined. What's happened here? We have left this dot error on line 26. This dot error dot current that I have in this. So is something went wrong. Let's look and debug our code here. What's happened? This left, it is here. Here to left. What is this? This dot error. This dot error. Get dot get left. What's happened here? This dot L dot current. Okay. Something went wrong here. I should say style dot display. Okay, the same goes here. Should say first style dot display. Okay, so let's test now. So as you see, it didn't fail but request. Okay, I should say also here it should define it from error message. So where yeah, is this one? I should say this. Hey, you should refer from this dot state message. Okay, so as you see, hey, we don't accept empty field, so this will disable a user to submit empty form. So this will help to not make a call to the server when user types something stupid or when user submits empty data. So this is good because it will help to not consume our effort to contact a Django server. So let's continue. Let's finish this, guys. Let's say if everything went fine, then here I will say const response is equal to, let's fetch data. Okay, in our Django endpoint, HTTP localhost. Okay, localhost port 8 API create. Please don't forget this URL. This is URL we tested, which will be used to create or to register user. So don't forget this, okay? Then I'll say method of post headers of content type application JSON. Okay, I'll say bold. Let's call JSON.string file. Then here I will say, here remember we need two fields in order to create a user, to register user. We say that we need two fields, which are email field and password field. Remember this. We use this in our API here. We said a user should post a password field and email field. Okay, here you see here see. So don't forget. So in order for us to create this user, we should pass email field and the password field in the active side. Okay, so let me maximize this. Then I will say here, I will say JSON.string file and email is stored in this .state.username. Okay, here, okay, username and the password. You need the password field. This .state password. Okay, after that, let's return the data. Let's convert our response in the JSON format in order to read the response from the server. So I will say const data is equal to await. I say response.json. After that, I'm printing data. Okay, so let's test here. So we should say data@gmail.com. 1 2 3. Let's register this user here. Okay, we have close origin error. Okay, so I think we forget to add some configuration in our setting.py file so as to enable this called origin logics to work. So let's go in our setting.py here in our Django, this file here. Let me maximize this. Okay, I forgot to add a middleware for cross origin, so this should have the middleware here, and I have noticed this by reading in this documentation. So as you see here, you should have cause headers in an installed app. We have this. Then in middleware, you should add this middleware. So let's copy this. Let's add it here. Don't forget, guys, this is so important in order to enable cross origin logics. Now we have added this middleware, we should add this middleware in order to enable this cross origin features to work in our project. So after that, let's try again to register the user. Okay, let's try again. Let's first see how many users we have in our admin panel. We have 2 users which we have created in last section. So if to see if everything went well, we should see a user created here. He should appear in admin primary here. So let's test this. Let's say we have data gmail.com, then say 1 2 3. Let's register this user. Everything is good. The user have been created. Let's refresh here to see if everything went well. Yeah, so we have this user. So everything is good now, guys. So everything is good, and we have seen we now can interact our React side with our Django side. So everything is well and everything is good. So the user have been created successful. Okay.